Hello and welcome to Fresh Face One Shots. My name is Joey.
And I'm Jacob.
And today we are back with the Uncanny X-Men by Gail Simone. This is issue number 9 of the Uncanny X-Men, and we are finally, for a brief period of time, out of crossover land. And back with just Gail Simone and being awesome. With a different artist on this book. We have Andre Bresson on the art for this issue. Very different, very cool, very fitting, I think, for the kind of story that Simone is telling for this issue.
Very stylized and really emphasizes the youth aspect, which is integral to this issue, because this issue, we finally get the Outliers, on their own. And not just them. We get some stuff with our main team that's actually really good. And I do want to talk about, but God, I loved the Outliers in this, and Gale makes me so sad at the ending. Gale, why?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, here's the thing. Because it is the character that it is, I don't think it's sticking, but
yes,
it's still sad.
But still, I'm like, here's the thing. Knowing Gail Simone, and she's already hinted at it with the way the issue ends, there's going to be some really interesting drama with the Outliers, in between them, because... Okay, we need to talk about it. So
So opening scene, we're expanding on our Sentinel dog things. They kill an intern. We also have
mainly because it feels like Gail Simone is pissed at AI. That's what this kind of feels like, just a little bit.
That's fair. We also have, I believe this is Bolivar Trask's son. I'm pretty sure. Again, this is another one of those current X-Men things I'm not caught up on, but I know for a fact Bolivar Trask is not around currently. So I believe this is his son here. You know the Trask line, I'm assuming, right?
Yes. It's the funny thing of, I had a nickel for every familial line in a long-form serialized narrative with the name of Trask who causes problems for a diverse group of protagonists. Would have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot.
I'm trying to think of who the other one is you're thinking of now.
In the soap opera Dark Shadows, there's also a family of evil Trasks.
Gotcha.
Usually priests.
Understood.
It does mean that whenever I read a Trask in X-Men, I'm thinking of the voice of Jerry Lacey, who plays all the Trasks in Dark Shadows, which is a choice.
Understood. See, I'm always actually just in love with what is it? Peter Dinklage plays Bolivar Trask in Days of Future Past.
Yes.
And he has, even just the voice for the character is fantastic. Anyway, so after that, we go back to our X-Men, who are celebrating a well-earned victory, I think, or as close to a victory as they can imagine. I do kind of wish Simone took this opportunity to reflect a bit more on Radon Grey Balkan, but I understand the want to just kind of jump back into things, especially with having even more crossovers coming up soon. So
Simone had to commit to a choice, and I think the choice she committed to is the right one.
That's right.
She needed the time with the Outliers. Let's be honest, this team of X-Men is some of they're some of the most popular X-Men and the most iconic. This is the team with Wolverine, Nightcrawler, and Rogue, who I'd argue are mainly because of, especially because of the original trilogy Bryan Singer movies, are the most iconic. And so everybody kind of knows them, where it's I'm introducing 4 new characters and we need to get them some focus, and that's what we do. And I love that our team makes the mistake of talking about how Logan doesn't trust the Outliers. And it's it's really interesting because it's putting this team in the position of, we have to be the responsible adults.
That's something else to just really appreciate in the Simone team of our main X-Men teams right now in Marvel Comics, is that you have Simone writing characters that often actually avoid responsibility, and so it's nice. I just find the fact that these are the ones in charge of this group, and in charge of the Outliers in particular, really important. So it's cool.
It's a smart idea of each of them should take one to mentor.
Yeah. I do love our little scene here with between Jubilee and Death Dream. We got our little. We haven't had much on Death Dream's past. But getting just that one panel, I really really love. As he's talking to her about what it's like to be him, which just sounds so unfortunate. And again, I don't know why.
It's also Simone's doing the obvious parallel of we need to put the happy bubbly one with the dark depressed one.
Yeah.
Like the dynamic. I am here for it immediately.
Yeah. Oh, lovely. We also get a fantastic scene between Jitter and Calico. This scene hit me out of nowhere. I fucking love this. I just, oh my god.
You know what? I ship it.
I'll take it. Yeah.
That's look. That's what the hand thing is doing. That is.
I think also
shorthand.
It's the way that I think Bresson draws that big sort of montage page there afterwards of them dancing together. It's also
the whole line of "sometimes you dance best when there's no music." That is romantic dialogue. That is romantic writing 101.
It's also, I think, Matthew Wilson's colors there too that really sell it. There's this really
it's the by-lighting.
It's this really great romantic mood lighting behind them. I think it's definitely what Simone is going for, and I'm here for it. It's great. I'll take it. Get a great scene between Ransom and Logan.
Simone, Bresson, and Wilson all pack so much into this issue.
Yeah,
which I have to applaud them for, because again, another crossover is coming.
Yes.
I have a feeling that Gale's gonna do their goddamn best to try to make it work. I am skeptical because crossover in a month. But
yeah. Get another great scene then between Ransom and Logan. Ransom is thinking about leaving the X-Men, and Logan kind of has to talk him back into it by like showing him. I mean, Logan is the bad guy, is the worst guy for a pep talk, obviously. But in a weird way, it makes him the right guy for it, because he will just let Ransom go. He's willing to let him go just in that moment. And
we should say, Ransom is the one who overheard the team talking about like not trusting the outliers and wanting to mentor them. And it's a conversation he shouldn't have heard because he was eavesdropping. And a conversation that needed to be had, but it was definitely a conversation that the team as a team weren't their best at, partially because they didn't think they were being overseen, and because the team is imperfect at raising at being leaders. That's kind of the point. It's great. But Ransom and Logan just have this interesting parallel in how they're very similar, but very different.
Simone has also written, I think, great little character moments between them. Even it's mostly just like in battle before, you know. So remember, I think specifically to that first issue that of Radon Grey Malkin, where Logan and Ransom were like the ones sort of like strategizing together when they were first facing off against Cyclops. I think it's just very, very cool to like to just like actually have that relationship slowly developing and like leading to this moment here. One of the things that Logan says to him is like, "I choose you. You're my first draft pick. Get me?" It makes sense. I'm not questioning that character motivation because I've seen it building, and it works.
So believe that we know who his cousin is.
Do we?
Yeah, I've seen it mentioned, and I think Gale confirmed this on Blue Spot. His cousin is Sunspot.
Oh, okay.
So
interesting.
That's. I feel like. Gale, what are you planning, Gale?
Interesting.
Tell me your secrets, Gale.
Also, I believe because you said that, I think you just called Blue Sky a Blue Spot, which...
Did I call it Blue Spot?
I think you
I
did.
am very tired.
We're recording late. It's fine. It's not like we have a whole podcast episode to record after this. It's fine. But Ransom does stick with the team.
I love it's like, can I meet Emma Frost? No. Are we gonna get a Blackbird? No. When do we get X-Men jackets? Hopefully never.
Beautiful. The next day, our X-Men send our outliers out to get a wardrobe makeover because they kind of need it. Well,
not just that. Importantly, get a makeover, get lunch, see a movie, be teenagers.
Yeah. great little moment, a great line from Jubilee there. So they go to the mall together. We have our dog sentinel things being prepared to go after mutants here. Begin targeting them at the mall. I do kind of wish we had a little bit more time. Again, this is more just the fact that Simone doesn't have that much time before another crossover happens. But
we get about half a page of them being teenagers,
and
it is.
And Deathstream has a cinnamon pretzel, and it is lovely.
Deathstream asks, "What's a pretzel? What's a cinnamon?" And there's this very brief moment of Logan wanting to follow them, but making the right, but also completely wrong decision not to. Because it's like, yes, it's like, of course, it's the right decision because he doesn't have the knowledge that the reader has, that the Sentinel, that the Wolf Pack is coming to murder them. Also, Jubilee and Logan are getting lunch of Etouffee and Bananas Foster, and I love these characters. A lot.
I do love our attack then with the Sentinel dog things versus the Outliers. They are obviously ill-equipped for this, but we do get a nice sort of small action sequence here. Deathstream, still eating a pretzel, uses his powers to fight off one of the dogs,
but then realizes, oh no, the dead can't see organic things.
Yeah. We then I do love Calico in her fiery armor, saving Deathstream there. Looks awesome. Looks fantastic. We have Dr. Ellis preparing to go collect our X-Men, I believe, is what we're doing. As the fight against the Sentinel dogs escalates, and as Jitter, Calico, and Ransom arrive to go to actually save Deathstream, it would appear.
Here's the important thing. Calico lost Deathstream in the commotion, which that's gonna cause. You're setting up some interesting conflicts there, Simone.
Yes, and as the last page seems to kind of promise here, at least for now, Deathstream is dead.
He's dead. And God, the way that Bresson draws the dead body is utterly horrific.
Yeah, I think surprisingly graphic, more than I thought it would be, honestly.
I think it's because Bresson's art style it's stylized in this way. I don't want to say cartoony because it's not cartoony, but there's just this slight bit of unreality.
Yeah. So realistically,
you can see it in the way Bresson draws faces throughout the issue. There's this lovely, just extra expression.
So when we get to this sort of final panel here, and we show Deathstream's dead body, you can imagine. I think the gore is more implied, but it makes it more gory almost. I think specifically what I'm looking at here is the blood trailing from the one wrist there, coming out straight from the middle. That would clearly be more horrific if it were more realistic looking art. But because of that, you know what it should look like. Your mind is kind of filling in the blanks.
Exactly.
Yeah, it really
well,
works.
And there are multiple trails of blood that are clearly emanating from Deathstream being attacked by 3 of these dogs, and it's that just makes it more horrific. It's like
various spots. It's oh god. All right, that's enough of that. We'll pick up with that next time in the Uncanny X-Men.
At least we have one more issue before the next crossover.
Thank goodness. Crossover. Love it. Yes. I think that does it. Check out other Fresh Face one-shots we do. We cover Superman by Joshua Williamson, Wonder Woman by Tom King, Batman The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween, the end of the Long Halloween saga. We obviously cover the Uncanny X-Men by Gail Simone, and I personally cover X-Men by Jen McKay on Fresh Face Solos, which once again will be crossing over with the Uncanny X-Men very soon. Also, check out the main.
I feel bad for all the X writers right now because that crossover is going to stop half of their.
They deserve better. God. Check out the main podcast, Fresh Face Comics. We recently released an episode on Swamp Thing, Book 2 by Alan Moore. We have some Hellblazer coming up next and some more Vertigo after that, so be on the lookout for all that when it comes out. As always, our link trees will be in the description below. Follow us wherever you want to follow us. Subscribe to the channel, Blood Donut Studios. Any other support means the absolute world to us. Thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, this has been Joey Morgan.
Jacob Licklider.
Goodbye.
Bye.